What is up, Knife World? Alex here, bringing you another video. This one on the Kirby Lambert Seishin. I think it's pronounced Seishin. I could be pronouncing that wrong. Currently showing you the packaging. I didn't know that Kirby signed these guys. You can see this one is dated 2025. Kind of wondered when he made it because it was purchased secondary. But continuing to open us up here, you can see the configuration of this guy is emerald green micarta and zirconium scales. Let me see if I can wipe this off for you. Yeah, you can assume that's not going to last long there. That polished zirconium picks up fingerprints mighty quick. And I guess it's either a copper, I think it's a copper pivot collar, along with, it looks like zirconium screws. I don't know if they're like PVD coated titanium or what, but you can see he's got the matchy. They're Torx. This is kind of an interesting style. I think Kirby's been doing this recently, but I remember him historically doing more of a like tri-wing or penta-wing type pivot. This one's kind of a little bit different. Still a fantastic look though. And then, yep, as I mentioned, he's got these beautiful emerald green micarta scales, emerald green micarta backspacer. This is a liner lock. He's got a nice matching zirconium pocket clip. And he's got a satin blade. No idea what the steel is. Maybe it's XHP, I'm not sure. But you can see his logo there, the Lambert Spider. Now, I have wanted a Lambert for quite a while now. And I am really enthusiastic to finally get one in the collection. I remember going to Inoki, one of the knife show in New Orleans hosted by Matt, and Kirby was there. And I've been tracking Kirby's knives for definitely over a decade, right? I'd say Jim Skeleton was my introduction to Kirby Lambert, as I am sure Kirby was introduced to many knife collectors via Jim's video. And I gotta say, I was really blown away with his work. I don't know that I had ever handled a Kirby Lambert prior to the show, just because I hadn't come across it at some of the other shows I had been to. I don't really do meetups with other collectors, so I just like, I don't have a lot of time that I rub shoulders with other collectors that would have also had a Kirby Lambert. But I gotta say, I was floored by the action. I'm a flipper guy. Kirby kind of has been doing flippers for a while now. He started to get into thumb studs, but I was talking to him at the show a little bit, and he was like, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed to be moving away from flippers because I spent so much time getting the action right on them, and now people are starting to go to thumb studs. And I totally felt that because the action on this thing is so good. It's so good. It doesn't surprise me at all that he had spent a lot of time dialing this in, because this is some of the best action a flipper can have. I'm totally floored by it. So this design is a collaboration effort between JVO and Kirby Lambert. I think Kirby Lambert was mostly involved in the production of the knife, and I think the design was mostly handled by JVO. But that being said, I think anything that Kirby puts his hands on is really fantastic. I mean, this is the fit and finish on this knife is top notch. I mean, take a look at the spacing there. You can rub your fingers over it as you'd expect. The intersections on all these materials is fantastic. The design choice between the green emerald micarta and the zirconium is fantastic. You can see all the fingerprints I got on the knife. It's just like I told you, it takes exactly 2 seconds to get the zirconium dirty. It's perfection. And Kirby, he just nails it. I'm like lost for words. You know how like when everybody tells you that a knife is excellent and like you just kind of like, yeah, everybody loves it. I get it. Kirby Lambert is like, his knives are so good. And everybody says his knives are so good. And if you've got a chance to handle one, like, you know they're fantastic. But if you're kind of like me and you were like, you'd never handled one, I don't know what you're waiting on. Like, Kirby's knives are regularly available on various sites. Like, at any time, you could go to Arizona Customs or maybe Recon One or Slice or you know, a variety of different dealers. And you can certainly get your hands on a Kirby Lambert knife with a variety of flavors. You could get it full dressed. You could get it more. You know, plain Jane or user spec friendly. You really, really have tons of choices. And the other thing is that Kirby Lamberts are extremely reasonably priced. For instance, like, the Kirby Lambert, his fit and finish, his designs, his action are almost every bit as good as RJ Martin. Not that the fit and finish is definitely as good. The action is different, but just as good. It's like everything about it is fantastic. Yet the RJ Martins are asking like $3,000 plus on the secondary market. You can pick up Kirby Lamberts for between $1,000 and $2,000, which is a total steal, in my opinion, for how fantastic that knife is. You can get Kirby Lamberts at much closer to maker price than you can, I think, for a lot of other knives, and they're really hitting above their weight class. You know, I think Kirby could be charging more money, and I think people would be buying them still. So yeah, I guess their obtainability is really high for how fantastic this knife is. I really don't know how much better you could get for the money than this. The designs are fantastic. The fit and finish is fantastic. The action is fantastic. The fidget factor is phenomenal. I mean, just kind of take you around again. It's like, look at this. You can see on the top there, he's got these jimping going on, and this jimping is dialed in perfectly. It's just aggressive enough to be useful, but not so aggressive that it's annoying or sharp, or like if you grab the sides of it, it like totally cuts you up. It's not like that at all. It's literally the perfect jimping. He even gets crazy. Like, you can see on the front there, he's got like a single jimping point right there. And it's like, so even if you grab a little bit forward on it, your hand still grabs, which is different than like, let me get another knife out here. So this is another knife of kind of a similar flipper style. You can see it is like a top flipper. So like you put your hand down on it and then you pull back on it. And so the Walter Randolph Wyvern also has a nice action to it. But on this one, I noticed that it doesn't have that like front jimping piece. And I do tend to grab like the corner of this one and then pull back on it, as opposed to the Lambert, where it's like you just kind of don't even think about it. Like, as long as you're touching the flipper tab, the jimping, the action, the detent, it's all perfect. The Lambert is much easier to flip than the Wyvern is, in my opinion. And so let's talk about another flipper that's kind of got a similar style. This is the Jeremy Marsh Vanquish. I've talked about this knife a lot. I've been carrying this knife a ton as part of my 365-day knife carry challenge, where I've been carrying the daylights out of this thing. And you can see I've been carrying the daylights out of it because that satin is no longer nearly as satin as it used to be, which that's how it goes. That's why I don't really like satins, because they just get torn up so fast. But point being is that it's got a similar kind of a flat top flipper where you kind of put your finger down on it and then you pull, you kind of push button it a little bit more. And that's just how the geometry is set up. But the Lambert, the execution of it is better than both of these knives for sure. Not that I don't enjoy these knives, they still have fantastic action, but the Lambert, he gets it right. As opposed to something like a more of a light switch. This is the Daniel Galloway Mongoose, but you can see this is not really a push button. Like, you don't really push down on the button, you know, on the flipper tab nearly as much. It's like, that's not the most comfortable way to actuate these knives. At least, you know, that they're just slightly different flipper styles. But the Lambert, it's got like the perfect geometry, the jimping, the execution. It's like, it's fantastic. And I have tons of fantastic flippers. Battlehawk, love the action. Rockstar, fantastic action. Archangel, fantastic action. Like, I have tons of wonderful knives here, and the Lambert action stands out to me in that it's like, it's mindless how good it is. So let's get these all off the table. So Lambert has quite a few noticeable designs. I think I'd like to get an Augustus from him at some point, but that'll be ways down the road here. I've got a couple of builds coming up in the next couple of months, so, you know, trying to make sure that those are funded before getting into anything else. You know, just a matter of priorities. But you can see this, you know, his Augustus kind of has like a recurve blade. This one's kind of a Tanto style blade. I forgot what the style was as far as Tantos go, but it's kind of got the generic shape. It's less square and still has a bit of belly here, at least on the point. Kind of like that. You know, the square ones are maybe a little too tactical for me, but this is a nice balance there. You can see he's got that nice long top swedge on there with, I guess, kind of a flat saber. I'm not sure what you call the tip there, but it's kind of a flat grind, and then it looks like this is maybe a hollow grind of some kind. Haven't cut anything with this, so not, you know, it feels razor sharp, but can't know for sure yet. You can see it's pretty high satin. It looks fantastic. I'm sure it's very usable. It's a pretty interesting size as far as knives go. It's got like a 3.25 or 3.125 inch blade, but it's got quite a bit of handle to it. Like, it's weird. It does use most of the handle, right? You can kind of see the tip goes just about all the way to the back there. But for how short the blade is, it's like, it's still, the knife still fills your hand pretty well. I have like medium large-ish hands, and this one fits pretty easily. The finger grooves are non-obtrusive, right? Even if your fingers don't fit perfectly in them, you wouldn't be bothered by it. It doesn't have any jimping at the top, which is kind of a shame because I feel like it could. I think that would make the ergonomics a lot, you know, they would improve the ergonomics to making it a little less slick, right? Because zirconium is slick. Micarta, the way this micarta is finished is pretty slick, but it locks your hand in pretty well with the flipper tab kind of acting as a guard there. So it's not slick, but it's like, I feel like some jimping there could be nice to give your hand a little more purchase there. In the reverse grip, I don't use any of my knives like this. I don't know anybody that does, but you can sit there. I wouldn't say it's the most comfortable thing in the world. Like, there's nothing uncomfortable about it, but it doesn't quite lock your hand in like maybe some of the other knives that are slightly more oriented towards reverse grip are. But this one, I have no complaints about. Like this, you get into some business like that. You can see the liners are kind of gray, and another YouTuber pointed out they kind of have an orange peel on them, and they are kind of textured, so I would agree with that on this one. I'm sure they do different finishes on the liners for whatever reason they want to, so it's like you may not find them all with this textured lining, but this one is certainly nice. The gray is kind of a nice little contrast to the black and green. It's not distracting at all. It's kind of a cool look. I'm really happy with the configuration of this guy. I'm floored to have a Lambert in the collection. This thing is fantastic. The lockup on it is fantastic. It's very easy to actuate the lock, even for a liner lock with pretty thin liners, right? They get narrow there, but he's got those cutouts there for your thumb, so you can just drop in and slide over, and it's no big deal. I did put a little drop of lubricant on this knife when I got it, and that made the action just slide. Feels fantastic. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot else to add. You can see he's kind of got a black pivot and black screws. I'm not sure if the screws are also like some kind of PVD or black zirconium, but maybe it'd be cool to get these with hidden hardware. You can see he's got hidden hardware on the bolsters, which I think is a clean look. I feel like it could be kind of double whammied if the scales also had hidden hardware. I think Kirby certainly has the skill set to do that if he so chose to. Maybe he just prefers not to, or is keeping that for something special. I'm not sure. You can see his clip 3D milled nice clip, very functional. The micarta is pretty smooth, so it glides in and out of your pocket pretty easily, for better or worse. That's just, it is what it is. And you can see it's got the same black screws, 2 black screws in the clip there. Fantastic looking knife. Yeah, so all that to be said, if you are on the fence to get a Kirby Lambert, you should just get one, because I think they're readily available. The price is fantastic. Kirby's execution is fantastic. The flip reaction is fantastic. I mean, everybody likes the... I don't know anybody that's complained about a Kirby Lambert. I mean, the guy's been making knives fantastically for such a long time. So, yeah, I'll give you one more walk around, and then we will get out of here. Now that I got my grubby fingerprints all over it, you get to enjoy it one more time. It's not really a finger choil, by the way. I would keep your hands away from there. That edge gets sharp. Thanks, everybody.